Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And before going to anything, I have a task for you. I'm gonna show you a code snippet, and you have to pause the video and you have to try it yourself. What do you think will be the output of this code out there? So, pause the video, try it out. What do you think the output will be? And then come back and we will discuss about it. So, most of the developers out there will think that the output will be firstly start will execute, then timeout, then promise, and then end. Most of the people will think this is going to do by the output, while some are gonna think that the output will be start, end, timeout, and then promise. Right? But both of these are wrong. The actual output this program will produce is going to be start, then end, then promise, and then timeout. So this is going to be the output. So we are going to understand that why this is the correct output, right? And as JavaScript is single threaded, how it is handling all these operations, right? And why does are executing before the timeout even after the timeout is 0 milliseconds, right? We can see the timeout is 0 milliseconds. So why are promises executing before this timeout? So let's understand what's happening all in the behind scenes, right? So firstly we need to understand that JavaScript is single threaded. My bad, let me write it down. Single threaded. Now what does single threaded means, right? So suppose you are in a mall or in a queue in a to buy something, right? And there is only one billing counter. So what will happen is everyone will come and they are going to have their chance one by one. So JavaScript works in a similar way. It can execute one task at a time. Keep remembering this, that JavaScript is single threaded, which means one task at a time. So what JavaScript has, it has a callback, it has a call stack. So let me write it down, and keep in mind this is very important, that JavaScript has call stack, right? So when multiple things come in JavaScript, it pushes them in a call stack. So these operations of ours, they line by line go in the call stack. But we have to think that why things are happening in a certain way out there, that console logs are printed first, promises then timeout after that, right? So why it is happening, so we have to go through the execution phase, that what is happening at the when the JavaScript is reading the program. So firstly, first comes the console log start, right? So it is pushed in the call stack, then it checks that what is in the call stack, this is in the call stack, it then prints start. Simple, right? Call stack is now empty because the start is printing, this operation is now completed, so it is done. Now the second situation comes is the set timeout. Second is set timeout comes. Now what set timeout is doing is it is printing something. Let me show you. it is printing timeout after 0 milliseconds, right? So what it is doing at the backend is, like, you have to understand that set timeout, fetch, or other functions like I would say fetch, set interval, set timeout, all these are provided to the JavaScript by the browser. They are not inherently JavaScript features, but the browser provides them. So when we come at a one of these things, like we come at a set timeout, then the set timeout, what actually JavaScript is telling is that complete this set timeout after, at least after 0 milliseconds. After is important, at least after 0 milliseconds. So till the time these 0 millisecond time is not going to be count in the call stack which we have in above. Where it will execute is, it is going to execute in the macro task queue. You can say at callback queue or macro task queue, whatever you wanna say. Okay, so macro task queue, right? So this set timeout is now pushed in the Microtask Queue here, right? Now comes the third part. The third part is the promise, right? Promises. Now as the set timeout is pushed in the Macrotask queue, there is a high priority queue in JavaScript which is known as the Microtask queue. All the promises and everything is pushed inside the Microtask queue, right? So our promise is now pushed into the Microtask queue, right? Now comes the fourth situation, which is the console.log and end. So it prints the end and the call stack is empty. Now it prints end. So now till this point we have understood why the first two outputs were start and then end, right? And till this time we have two queues, Microtask and Macrotask, right? So we have these two queues, and we know that this one holds the priority. You can understand it as, suppose you are going in a theater and there are two lines, one is for normal people and one is for the VIP guest, right? So what it does is, it firstly checks the, is the call stack empty? Yes, it is empty. Why? Because both these are printed and the call stack is now empty, right? Now it checks that if there is any task in the micro task queue. It says yes, there is a task, and that one is the promise one, right? It was promise here. So what it will do is, it will take that micro task queue task and then put it inside the call stack, right? So that is the reason why promises execute first and before the macro task queue or set timeout or set intervals, right? So the promise will execute next. So the what was the promises doing? It is printing promise, right? So now our output will become something like start, end, promise, right? And then after the microtask queue is empty, it will check if there is a task inside the macrotask queue, and yet it is there. So set timeout was there. So now it will come and complete the macro task queue task, and it is set timeout. Now you think, that why all of this is happening, right? And why, who is handling all this, and this is what we call that, which is the title and which is the concept of our today's class, that is event loop. Event loop is what manages all this, that all the synchronous tasks, that is, that don't require any time, that are console logs or any statements, right? They are executed first. First is synchronous. Now after that, all microtask queue task will be used and it will be completed, and then after that all the macro tasks will be completed, right? So all of these is handled by event loop. Event loop is the thing that keeps our call stack steadily and what needs to be done at what point of time. So this is the concept of event loop, where all your things are going to execute in a certain order, right? So now you understand that why it is all happening, how the flow of the JavaScript programs runs, right? And what does event loop does, how is promises and set time executing, and why set time is executed after promise, even though the set timeout value was 0 milliseconds, right? Because they always have a higher priority. So this was our whole program. This is why all these things happen, and if I would say summarize it, then yeah, this was the whole summary of it, that how does event loop works. Okay, so thank you so much for watching the video, and if you have any suggestions or you want to understand a certain topic about front end, you can comment down the topic which you need to study. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like the video. Please drop your comments about how you like how much you like the video, and thank you so much for watching.